Emotional labor is one of the most challenging jobs that we can do as humans, not because of the physical demands of it, which can also be the case, but because it's never ending. And if you are a giver, somebody who that gives fully of yourself, then you're going to keep on pushing until you are fully burnt out and then some, at which point you're going to lose your spark. And that's what's known as compassion fatigue. And this is a state that's become much more common in the past several years. So it's important to know what can cause compassion fatigue so that you can keep on giving and not reach that state of burnout for yourself. Compassion fatigue is a form of burnout that comes to caregivers. And it's not, as we often assume, a result of selflessly giving too much of ourselves, so much as it is from feeling the suffering of others. And when we continue to give in this way while experiencing a lot of suffering in others, it often will lead to our own emotional burnout. And this is often a result of feeling the ongoing suffering of others and assuming that our efforts are not enough. When we don't see the difference that our efforts are making, it's hard to keep on pushing forward relentlessly. And the other big factor in compassion fatigue and burnout from being a giver is the style in which you give. Seeing the results of your efforts is one way to combat burnout, which is why certain fields like teaching and medicine lead to higher rates of burnout. When the turnaround rate of humans that you're giving care to is very high, you often don't see the long-term results of the efforts that you've put in, which can then lead into this compassion fatigue. So the first tip is quite counterintuitive, but works really well for reducing compassion fatigue, and that's to give more, but respect your boundaries. When it comes to giving more of yourself, it's important to respect your limits and know your boundaries. Giving all of yourself is not the answer, but knowing your limits so that you can give without burning out. And it turns out that even people who give a lot of their extra time to volunteer efforts can find a way to manage this successfully by chunking it together into one larger bout throughout the week rather than trying to do it every single day. By dedicating a larger block of time all at once, you're actually able to see more of the results of the efforts of your giving, in which case it's going to help to reduce that chance of compassion fatigue and burnout. So by having some set blocks of time throughout the week, or if you're in a caregiving work environment, by sticking to the limits of your scheduled work hours, you're going to be able to reduce your chances of compassion fatigue while also giving yourself more time to rest and recover, which is the next point. So you want to have some weekly recovery time. You have to recharge and recover too. And this means having some time for your body to relax and recharge throughout the week. Even if you aren't burning yourself out because you've figured out a balance with selflessly giving, you still need this rest and recovery time to perform your very best. And even if you can't afford a lot of extravagant recovery methods, sleep is still a recovery superstar. Even making some small changes to improve your sleep quality or the amount of time that you get to sleep or take a nap is going to make a big difference and improve your ability to handle stress and reduce burnout. And if you do have some extra time that you can get out into nature for a walk or book a float or massage at your favorite spa, then this is also a great way to allow your body to recover better. Because at the end of the day, this will allow you to stay strong and care for those others. And also remember that you have to know your limits. When it comes to respecting your boundaries and also making time for your own recovery, you have to know your limits. Emotional labor is highly rewarding, but it's also very draining. It involves a lot of social connection that you might feel naturally inclined to need to pull away from, especially if you're somebody that's more introverted. So knowing your limits and working within them will allow you to keep on giving without burning out and developing this compassion fatigue. And if you're finding it hard to make this balance right now, go through these different strategies and see where opportunities for change are that you can start to make. By becoming more self-aware of the patterns that we fall into or where we tend to burn out, It's going to help to develop a better strategy so that you don't crash and burn. So if you found this video helpful, hit the thumbs up and also share it with another selfless giver who could use this advice. And if you want to continue to learn more about how to avoid burnout and recover your best, then check out this video here next.